Hello everyone, it's Costantino here, and I really want to take you with me in my journey with a very rare and debilitating disease called Eagle Syndrome. But first of all, some disclaimers. As you can probably hear, my English is not perfect, so please bear with me, but the aim of this video wants to be this one. So spreading awareness and trying to help people seeking for the right diagnosis, and right now is suffering a lot. And surfing the internet, especially YouTube, I didn't really find many personal experiences, and that's why I'm doing that for you. Hopefully that it could really help you somehow, even a little. So second, of course, I'm not a doctor. I did study the whole condition, and I'm trying to provide you with solid, objective and scientific information. That's why I'm linking below even scientific literature if you want to go deeper in this field. But please, once again, I'm not a professional, I'm not a doctor, so talk to your general practitioner or check the list of specialized doctor in Eagle syndrome in your area, and try to seek help. So what is Eagle syndrome? It's the elongation of the styloid process, which is a part of our temporal bone necessary as an anchor to a muscle called styloid bone, which links the temporal bone and the styloid process to the only complete fluctuating bone we have in our neck, which is this one. It's called the hyoid bone. Very important to keep our upper airways open. But when this bony thing impacts your nerves or your other neurovascular structures in your neck, it can lead to a very wide range of symptoms like neuralgia, pain, foreign body sensation in the throat, headaches, head pressure, brain fog, and so on. So that was the classical Eagle syndrome, but when that bony thing compresses your internal jugular vein, or even worse, your carotid artery, well, the situation gets more complicated and different. Because when styloid process compress your internal jugular vein, it leads to a condition called CCSY, which stands for chronic cerebral venous spinal insufficiency. I got it at the hopefully. And you would have symptoms like head pressure, brain fog, pulsatile tinnitus, visual disturbances, and so on. On the other hand, when your carotid artery is impaired, it's compressed, it can lead to fainting and even worse TIA, which stands for transient ischemic attack. And in some cases, very rare, it can be also deadly, unfortunately. But however, the venous compression variant, let's say, called also Vascular Eagle Syndrome, was my specific diagnosis. And as our neck, I'm showing you a picture, is full of, it's a very small region but fundamental one, critical one, full of muscles, nerves, blood vessels, and even bones like the vertebrae. Internal jugular vein can be also compressed by one of these, like bones, vertebrae, and even muscles. And that was a specific condition in my case, because the internal jugular vein was compressed as between, like a sandwich, from the styloid process and the transverse process of C1, which is a part of our first cervical vertebra called the atlas. Because the internal jugular vein might not be fully decompressed, because there's another part, one of the two parts of the nutcracker syndrome, they also call it, that does not allow a good venous outflow. So I had the surgical procedure, the styloidectomy, 10 weeks ago, and as you can see, there is my scar. Hope you can see it well, and it looks very nice. It's a very good incision because almost 9 weeks is not 10 weeks is not that much. I had my steroidectomy in May, showing you even closer, and I gotta really thank Dr. Bachel from Krakow, maxillofacial surgeon, who operated on me without any complication. But unfortunately, like I said, I'm not out the woods yet because my main symptom, which is unrelenting head pressure, and it was very hard to live with that, is not it's not gone yet, because maybe I have to undergo the second part of the surgery, which is a C1 resection or C1 shaving, which is called also tuberculorectomy. It's somehow early to program to schedule the surgery, so we gotta be patient in these cases. So let's talk a little bit about me. I've been a very healthy guy until the age of 20, when October 2023 my life completely turned upside down, because I started suffering from debilitating symptoms in my head, in my cheek, like vibration, strange head pressure, but they were properly unrelenting, 24/7. No meds could help me, and nobody actually could help me. I had like almost 30 medical consultation in 17 months, and just unfortunately, with my efforts, studies, hours and hours and hours, maybe even days, weeks, surfing the internet, trying to figure out what was going on to me, I finally got the right diagnosis. But once again, trying to find the right doctor who could help me was still difficult. And I have the symptom even right now, and if you're looking at me, you will say that. And if I look at myself a mirror, or even right now in the camera, I see a normal guy, but I'm experiencing this hell in my head, and that's why patients they do feel lonely, desperate, and of course hopeless, because they will say you're just stressed, you're just a psychiatric case, which I was told, and it's horrific. I mean that's not good at all, and they would keep patients will keep suffering every day, and even every second of their life. And among us, it's very typical to have a very long diagnostic process. So somehow I, now that I feel lucky to have got the right diagnosis in a decent amount of time, because meanwhile I really suffered every day. But that's why I'm doing this, and you're not alone. We are not alone. I'm going to link down below links to a group of patients on Facebook, and there's a very well done blogs called Living with Eagle, where patients help from all over the world help each other, which is fundamental. And in my very small part, in my small role, I'm trying to fill this gap, but we need the help of everyone. So I don't want the video to be that long, so I'm leaving you with the report, with me showing you the imaging, and I will definitely update you about my next steps, because if I won't be okay, if I won't get better, there's hopefully the last chapter, fingers crossed, of this journey, which I really hope, it was made of sufferance and desperation for me, but I always try to be optimistic, and I hope that is a source of little inspiration and hope for you. So this is what I got for you. I think you can hear the fan of my laptop. I hope that is not annoying, but well, let's go on. This is me. This is a CT venography, 3D reconstruction of CT venography. And as you can see, that is very beautiful, I gotta say. Not me, but the imaging itself. On the right side, you can clearly see this huge right jugular vein that it gets thinner in this area called the J3, compressed by the transverse process of C1. Let's zoom in. Transverse process of C1 and the styloid process, calcified styloid process. On the left side, there is still jugular vein, a thinner one, but where in the same area you can't even see it because it's so thin. And it's not a pathological condition itself, because most of us have a dominant or not dominant side, or even hypoplastic jugular vein. In fact, you can't even see it running through the jugular foramen, because this is the carotid artery, this is the um, external jugular vein. And as you can see on the right side, it's well visible, while on the right side, on the left side, is not detectable. But let's see the MRV, magnetic resonance venography. As you can see, like I said, dominant, very dominant right jugular vein, hyplastic actually, left the transverse sinus, and hypoplastic, this C-shape vessel, it's called the sigmoid sinus, which is huge on the right side. So when the blood flow gets impaired on the dominant side, that's why I have this horrible constant head pressure, because if that happened to the left side, I mean, I wouldn't have these crazy and horrific symptoms. But however, on this area, you can see that the jugular vein gets compressed and it gets thinner, very thin actually, like a spaghetto, we will say in Italy. Let's go to this sagittal view. This is pre-operation imaging. This is the transverse process C1, right jugular vein, and look at how huge it is and how thin it gets compressed by styloid process. This is styloid process, this black rod, and the transverse process of jugular vein. But this is the transverse view. This white thing, round thing, is the jugular vein, this carotid artery. And as we go down, if the imaging is not lagging, it's lagging a little bit. So this black dot, as we go down, is the styloid process compressing the jugular vein with the transverse process and the muscles just in front of it. And look at how fine it gets. The jugular vein, that might be about, let me see, 2 millimeters probably. It's about 2 millimeters compared to the size from the jugular foramen, which is about, let's see, I know it's lagging a little bit, so bear with me, which is about maybe more than, which is about 8 millimeters. Let's go to the post-operation imaging. Sagittal view. This is the residual part of the styloid process, which is still compressing a little bit jugular vein, but this free area from compression from styloid process hasn't expanded yet, and you can even see it from the transverse view. So once again, right jugular vein. Oh, well, of course, I forgot to say that whatever you see on the left side of the imaging, it's actually on the right side of my body and vice versa. So this black dot, it's the styloid process, cedar part of styloid process. So here there's not bony compression from styloid process, but once again the jugular vein is very flat because there is compression from the transverse process on C1, and on the left side you can't even see. Look at this. This is my internal jugular vein. It's super tiny. There's no compression of the styloid process, which is again this black dot over there, and you can't really say if there's compression from the transverse process, left transverse process of C1. Yeah, that was my imaging.